Mark Ray Corporation is proud to announce the global premiere of the Cosmic Ray Technology Systems in Beijing, China from May 10th to May 12th, 2025. This public exhibition is the first of many to be held around the world to show the breakthrough in space colonization systems and space technology. The banner of the event and the invitation letter, which was sent out to a multitude of organizations, governments, and diplomatic corps in China, are enclosed in this article. Following the acquisition of license for sub-licensing, marketing, production, and distribution of the Cosmic Ray technology, this is the first opportunity for Mark Ray Corporation to show the breakthrough of technological cosmic ray plasma systems for their use in space colonization, to produce materials, gases, and no satellite communication systems in the presence of many scientists from different countries testing these systems on site. You are welcome to join us on site or live on Zoom.
As I say, good morning, good day to you, as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to this. Is of Knowledge Seekers from the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. We welcome you back to the city of Beijing. We are here to celebrate the public presentation of the technology. This is not a conference. This is openly opening the technology under the banner of the Keshe Foundation, what we call financial arms of Mark Ray Corporation. It will be a breakthrough for us, as you will hear in the process of the next few days, major breakthroughs, disclosures, and those of you who be in the city of Beijing to see the what we call the exhibition. And if you are one of those lucky ones, you'll walk away with a spoon of gold or rare earth materials, which is the beginning of the change of the Industrial Revolution. Up to now, we mined, we killed for it. Even today, 3 nations which have broke away from being exploited for the gold and uranium in Africa, as we hear the president of France has called. He said, can we have our military base back? He says, do you have a military base in Canada, in America, and wherever else you are friendly with? So we've seen the abuse of the material. And one of the major things that we will display in this exhibition is production of materials. So the system we show is absolutely obsolete, which means the technology has passed this point. Our production of material, the technology we have achieved is far past this technology, and in a way we are showing a dinosaur structure in the exhibition, but there still is a massive breakthrough innovation in science and technology. In this system, hidden within it is part of the structure of what we call the time travel. I'll explain this in the future, what it means. And on the other hand, communication systems will be displayed. Scientists from Beijing Space University, people from military factories and some other nations, and diplomats will attend. This presentation is a very unusual. It's not that anybody can walk in. It's been set behind the window of one of the most prestigious hotels in the city of Beijing. This is the place where the One Belt, One Road Silk conference was held last year. And this is a very common place for His Excellency President Xi of China to attend conferences in Beijing. It's across the diplomatic corps, and it's well placed, and we know knowledge seekers who are coming. You are given numbers, and according to the numbers you're given, you go through the thing to see it. It's a very small space for exhibition, but very powerful, what we call delivery of technologies. The communication system will be shown, and it's there for the test by the engineers and scientists for the zero-time communication. It looks like a headphones you have, but it's different from what you see. And at the same time, for the first time, we connect for the scientists to connect to the center where the nature system, which has no dynamic system in it, which will create lift, motion, atmosphere, material, gas, energy, gases, and everything else in one system. System is about the size of a football, and it's the first time we're opening it. We expect massive announcements during the conference. You have to understand, this exhibition, more than a conference, there's an extra room somewhere that the knowledge seekers can get together, another floor of the hotel, and is in a way putting the technology into the industrial revolution of the time to come. The changes will be massive, and at the same time, we are part of a structure of the market cooperation of the United States in the stock, what we call in the market. The presentation is not by Keshe Foundation. Keshe Foundation, MT Keshe, have given a license to Markray to literally bring the technology on the financial arm of our work into the, what we call, into the world of business and science and technology. There will be further announcements will be made, which has to go through the system of the, what we call OTC, and now be the way it's set up. We have to announce as a corporation what we do. We cannot announce it here, but you hear it in the coming days. Well, the most important thing for us is to show the power of the technology, and at the same time, the whole process of the production of materials, and with it, the fields and interaction of the other systems which we have set up, will be live shown on the same Zoom number as you are connecting today. We have made facility for 1,000 people to join across the world, and if need be, we increase the numbers. So the Zoom number which you have today, you are joined the Keshe Foundation Zoom sessions, will be a public Zoom number for everyone to be able to join. The whole process of production of material will be live broadcasted, and we know many scientific organizations we have informed will watch and monitor. If you have access to any platforms like X and the rest, make it public. Put it in as many places as you can, and the production of material will be shown live. As I said, this technology for us is absolutely obsolete, is past its date, but is still more advanced than many nations. At the same time, as we announced this conference, we have been informed that the Iranian government has started what we call explaining the use of the technology as a cold plasma. This is to do with the Iranian government and nothing to do with Keshe Foundation or Markray Corporation. It is them confirming the correctness of the technology, and technology being originally tested and developed. Please understand that the exhibition is part of the Markray Corporation and not the Keshe Foundation. At the same time, we have to carry on developing, and we'll carry on teaching. And I thank all you knowledge seekers who have made it possible for the technology to become open so widely that we can demonstrate it in public. Some of you cannot get into the hotel. You can see it from outside. It's on the open window. And I hope this brings us to the next step of the development. Please, if you join to come to the exhibition, understand that the Intercontinental Hotel has never allowed this area or this floor to be used for exhibition. And this is out of the respect for the Keshe technology and the work we've done for the Chinese community in this country. It had to be approved by the people who are in charge, and it was approved within 2 days. It's unusual to hold such a presentation. They have moved a lot of things for us to be in this position. So please, if you cannot get in, just stare as a window, watch it, enjoy it, and celebrate it. Going back to the teaching. As we discussed last week regarding the creation of time. Creation of time is one of the most fundamental points in the life of every man. At the time when we finish time on this planet in the physical life, another time, in another time, place, position, and the strength of the soul will start for the journey, for the life of the soul. So, end of one time is the beginning of the other. Then, if you understood the whole structure of the time, creation of time, the strength of the soul of the man dictates the shape of the man, and it dictates the position of the man in the dimension of the soul once the time and the physical time is changed. When you don't have, you're carrying so much soul with you, you kill thousands of people, you have burden of it. You haven't given the strength, but you're loaded with it. The position and the position moves away from the creator. The more perfect life you lived, you're more closer to the central energy. The closer you live, your position to the creator. It's not that what I load will bring me closeness. That what you load, it makes you heavy. And that heaviness, weaker strength, positions you further. In what shape you appear, it's the shape of the creation, the place and the possession. And then, at that point, your time starts. This is why when they tell you the universe is 4 billion years and 13 billion years, it's just a joke. As the time is on the point of the manifestation, not from the point of observation of manifestation. Which means it goes back to the essence of the beginning. When you're alive on this planet, what you gather dictates the strength of that soul, which that dictates the position and the place that you'll manifest yourself and where the time starts. In the structure of the understanding of the totality, and I'm sure you will see in the structure of the dimensions of the teaching of the past, what we have always shown and what we have always been has been that we understand the totality of the structure. What does this mean? This means that we need to be aware of the whole structure. What we taught you from the beginning, when you joined the star formation, the creation of the space, what we call the place, the position, dictates how you will create that time. If we know the power of more or less the place, if we can create the position and a position, then any of these two will give us the position of time. You want to be on earth and you want to be a human, but your soul has a strength of, let's say, so many Teslas, as you understand it. We will introduce a new, what we call measurement tool for the plasmatic magnetic field of cosmic rays, because what we have as a Tesla does not work. I'll explain this, and those of you who were with us some 10, 12 years ago, on the systems which we developed for detection of the fields which we measured, this was already set up to measure the time, to measure the space. So if we understand the measure of the plasmatic Tesla, what I call, then we understand how we can create, we know what place our soul will possess, will be the position of, and in what shape we manifest. Creation of the place and position will totally and in its structure depends on the strength of the position. And that position, plasmatic position, will create the condition of the plasmatic of a position and the place. And all three can be replicated in the structure of a system, which means the knowledge of the man is at the point where he can create the magnetic field of the place, magnetic field of the position, and a magnetic field of position. And the time is dictated. But the time itself has a characteristics that if you can create the time, you can reach in any dimension. As the time is created from the interaction of the three. In the coming time, in the teachings which will go more in depth, as I said, you will understand more. As I explained last week, we started with nanocoating. Then we taught you about the ganses. Then we brought you with the dynamic systems. Then we brought you to the dimension of the soul. And now it's time. And in a very simple way, you will come to understand that the time for the creator is always zero time. Which means it never existed, it shall not exist, unless the fields of it brings the position, the place, and the position. There is no beginning, there is no end. And in the structure of the creation of time, the possession will play a main factor, which is the time when your soul leaves the physicality and leads to the creation of the new time, a new place, and a new position. Then, if you understood this, and you can create the magnetic field of the position and the place while you have the position, and you can change any of the other two, you create a new time. Which means you can go forward in changing, in understanding what will be the, what I call the position of you with this soul, this magnetic field. Today's the scientists can measure by electric current within the brain, and they tell us this is the position of the emotion, this is a position of control of this and that in the body of the man through the physical structure of the brain of the man. But when the science moves further on and understand that the brain itself is creator of the magnetic field and the plasmatic cosmic ray, then they understand what it needed to hold the soul within. And with that measurement, man can decide the position and the time and the place. So, as we call it, there is no time travel, but we can travel in time, which means we are the creator of it. Understanding of the what we call the position, which is the soul of the man, in the future will be measurable. Because there's a technique in measuring it. And once you measured it, you can create the gravitational magnetic field of the, let's say, New York, and then you decide, I want to manifest as a dog. We know to manifest as a dog, the amino acid of the field of that animal has a specific characteristics, which we can create all three, and then the time is zero. The way your soul travels, leaves the body behind and manifests in another position when it reaches a certain magnetic field strength, you do the same, but the place and the position is already booked in. You just change the field strength. And we have told you in the teaching in the past how to change the position. It's very easy if you remember. Then when you arrive in New York, you start the time. You can never be in the wrong place. On the science of today, we created GPS positioning, but in this game, we created time positioning, which is a totally different science and different technology, and connects directly to the line of the creation. Is as another star is created. This is why we hear in the world of present science of cosmology, they tell us millions of stars are in the galaxy and millions are created every day. If you go back to my teaching, one of the first things which I always said in the teaching, very original teaching, I said, if so many millions of stars every day are created in the universe, it must have a principle. So I make one too, because I now understand the process of creation. When I make one, is my soul, is my identity, is what I possess within. To create time is a totally different ball game. But if you can travel in time and you can create a position and you have the other two fixed, you can travel the time. Can you go backwards? In a physical dimension, you cannot go backwards, because if you look at it, I explained many times, the earth is round and rotates at a given speed. Your image is scattered, and the more time, the more further it goes. You can go back in time, but this time you see the interaction of the fields of the plasmatic, what we call field strength. So then can you change something that you will not be in this position? If the others allow, you can do. Those who are, they will be affected by change in the field strength of you. I was born, I'm not happy with having 2 legs, I want 3 legs. Can you go back in time and give yourself 3 legs? Or can I see, I could have stopped this disease to happen in me if I could go back to correct the genetic modification, what we call correct my genes that are be perfect, that I don't have this disease. These now become possible, but it needs a lot of understanding by changing what field of strength you change. And if you understood this, with your behavior, how you take what you do, you change the place of your manifestation of your soul on departing, on finishing the timeline in a physical dimension. This is why we always say, always in all the teachings, what you carry at the field strength of the soul has preset position. And then it has preset possession of the place. So in a way, by understanding the field strength of the possession, you know where your place is. The further space or closer space to the creator, to the zero time of creation, because then you radiate out. If you understand this, is very simple. What does this mean? It means if you get to the position of the center, what we call the soul of the creator, when you get closer or you get further, this is what they call the hell, and this is what they call the heaven. Is the lover's game with the creator. When you love, you become the same as it, so you come closer to be to your lover. And now you understand, when you do a crime, you have more souls to carry. This is what I said, those who make arms, and is not just the guy who shoots a gun. the one who made the gun, the powder, the one who carried it, the one who designed it, the one who benefited by it, all getting loaded on. If mankind understands this, if mankind understands the game of the time and the place, no man will create not even a single gun and not a single bullet. And this is what has been understood by universal community, and man needs to understand. In the process of creation, the strength of the field, of the soul of the man, at the point of departure, dictates which place it will take in space. The more you killed, the heavier backpack, the further distance you have to get to the Creator. And that's heaven, because you got a long way, long journey to make it down. The suffering of this emotion of the soul in being away from the lover is a bigger punishment than the fires of hell. Those of you who've been in love, you understand exactly what it means. The further you are from the one you love, the more you suffer and yearn to be to, and do everything to get to that point. The whole process of creation of time is the essence of the creation. And the time is made by man, as time does not exist in the universe. Very simple. You have an earth time, you have a solar time, you have the galaxy time, you have the universe time, and then you have a unicos time. The further you go in, the longer the time becomes. The structure of the creation of time comes from interaction of the fields. There is a key to bring that time, and there's a key in understanding what we call the position, and the place. This is what I said. Now you might understand. The time will come that will manifest Christ in front of you. Because we know the field, the strength of the Jerusalem. We know the shape of the man. All we need is to create the plasmatic magnetic field, the strength of the soul. Time will be zero, and according to whoever watches at any time will see the Christ. It's not magic. Part of this technology will be shown in the exhibition in Beijing. You will understand when you arrive, and some of you will feel it. Some of you will cross behind a window, watch your body, watch your clothes, and understand how I've been showered with the love of the Creator. And if you get the dust of gold on you, carry it with pride. You've been touched by the field of the creation. The beauty of it is that that glass cannot stop. That glass cannot be a barrier between the field of the creation and the soul of the man beyond it. The purpose of the exhibition is not to show the man, but is to enlighten the humanity. Enlightenment is part of the structure of the what we call possession. when you enter, when you see the structure of the setup, don't think of a flying system. Understand the evolution in time. Understand the evolution in enlightenment. Time, place, position, and position all will create a time. That time is the time of enlightenment. That's the time when the 0 point starts. Because before that, there was no knowledge. After that, there is a knowledge. And that's the time of enlightenment. And that time of enlightenment is a very, very rare point. And that's the time when the change comes. I hope next few weeks, as we go more in detail, for you to understand the essence of time, not the system of time, then you understand how to create the field strength within the position to create the dimension of the place and position. The position is the most important factor because we can change it by our behavior, by our attitude, by us not destroying, not what I call destruction of ourselves by ourselves, is the worst thing ever done in a man when it's the self damage, self inflicting. And man does that with every breath it takes, with every spoon he puts in his mouth, and with every action of the emotion. If you think of it, I made man in the image of myself, and man is not my image. Image is the dimension of the soul. I do not kill, I do not destroy, but how can a man to be my image? In truth, it's the soul of the man which is my image, and not his physicality. The place and the position are wrong. If you change the position, you can change the place, and with it, you can change. If you listen to the intro, I think you have a better message than what the teaching of today is. Every man can change his position during their life on this planet. We go for a small break and we come back and try to answer as much questions as possible. Understand that we are in Beijing and it's around about 1 o'clock in the morning, and hopefully we see many of you in the exhibition, especially the Chinese friends. And if you don't get a chance, just be patient.